Thank you, Madam Deputy Speaker. Over the course of the last year, I've been lucky enough to visit many of the schools here in Broadland, including last Friday when I visited Buxton Primary School, where Year 4 students gave me a hard time about single-use plastics and the government's plan for the environment. And the overwhelming impression given by all of these visits has been one of determination and energy, where they've risen to the challenges thrown up by COVID-19. Unlike Labour, the government has been clear from the start that schools should be the last organisations to close under lockdown and the first to reopen. And as we look back at the last year, this decision was clearly the right one and taken in the teeth of opposition from Labour. When school closures became unavoidable, teaching moved online and the Department for Education then became the world's largest purchaser of laptops, buying an astonishing 1.3 million devices to make sure that as many people as possible were able to take part in online learning, irrespective of their family circumstances. And schools have adapted too. Any school visitor will recognise the huge difference in the quality and the quantity of educational offering between the first lockdown and the second. Our teachers have learned a vast amount about how to teach well within the restrictions that they have faced. But there have been enormous costs. I visited a secondary school a few weeks ago now, where the atmosphere was positive and encouraging, and the vast majority of students, it was quite clear, had bounced back. And yet, that school now calls an ambulance to site several times a week to assist with pupils who have symptoms of extreme anxiety. The school's now recruited an additional, 2 welfare staff to help smooth the path back to educational normality. And I spoke to them and they are extremely busy. The point is here that COVID has not affected every student in the same way. So our response to recovery should recognise this and be targeted on the students who have really suffered the most. As we emerge from this pandemic, the government is right to focus on areas where the evidence shows results, support for great teaching and high quality tutoring for those who need it. In particular, the National Tutoring Programme to provide 6 million 15-hour tutoring courses for struggling school children comes at enormous cost, £1 billion. But it's an intervention that can be focused by teachers where it can do most good. And these are teachers whose own catch-up skills will be enhanced by a further £400 million of training support. This is a programme that fits the real needs that I've seen in schools when I visited them, and it's the right first step in the plan for educational recovery.